Hey everybody, welcome back to Stack Snacks. I'm John Siwicki, and today we're going to look at just two quick tools that I like to use to test out some different models and why it should be worth your time playing around. So the first one is Okara, and this is like a very privacy first, open sourced kind of friendly tool, and I just started using this recently because I wanted to get access to Kimmy K2's new model thinking. So for those that aren't familiar with some of these models, basically there's a lot of these wonderful open source models that are really getting to be quite good. And so this is a good way to test out some of the different ones for your workflows to see what works. And I like how they break things down by like area. So right, you can see research, writing, vision, general purpose, speed, and kind of things that have long context. So you do get some, there is a free tier, you do get some free tokens. But definitely worth checking out. Definitely, if you're looking to get into some of these models, I definitely would recommend Kimmy K2 Thinking. I'm thinking about maybe doing a longer video on that one. The next one too is OpenRouter. So OpenRouter allows you to test across all different kinds of models. One thing that's kind of nice is to have like a pay-as-you-go model, so you can pay-as-you-go plan, so you can just top up your account and just play around with some stuff. So I like to do that from time to time. So if we go into mono chat. Okay, we're in the chat interface. So we can then, from their model drop down, they have access to all different kinds of things, and it uses a lot of the API pricing. So certain things might cost more, certain things might cost less. Usually they tell you inside of this, I think. Oh, they don't tell you, but you can imagine some of the more advanced models being a little bit more expensive, and then some of the open source models as well. So you can see you can add a couple to your prompt. It's a good way to see what kind of works and what kind of which answers do you like better for what you're trying to do. So this is a cool thing to play around with, especially if you don't want to constantly have subscriptions to all these other sites. So it is a nice thing to be able to test. And okay, you got some extra settings down here you can play with, some custom stuff, very cool. And on both of them, like I said, there's some free credits, and like I said, the OpenRouter's pay-as-you-go plan is definitely not too bad, so it's worth a test. And I would definitely recommend trying some of these out because I think some of the open source models are cool, and I think they're worth playing around with. And I think too, this gives you access to certain things that you might not get, like the Codex models from OpenAI. And there's just so much here. Some of the Chinese models that are, if you don't have a place that hosts them. Right, some of the stuff I've never even heard of. So it's cool to play around with and see and kind of test. So definitely recommend adding it to your workflows and testing it out. But if you have anybody has tools like this where you could use different models, let me know. I'm always looking for ways to play around with the new stuff and test stuff out. So these have been my two go-tos. So let us know, and thanks for stopping by, everybody.